Thank you.
You see something?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that was great. I'm glad you could make it.
Thank
Diane.
you.
Yes, indeed. I knew you flew in from Las Vegas at 5 o'clock this morning.
Yes, and I expected you to meet me at the airport.
Yeah.
But what happened?
Well, I was busy. My makeup man showed up at 4.
Aw.
Hey, I hear you haven't been gold bricking lately either, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, I just finished a brand new album.
Really? What's
Yeah.
it called?
It's called Diana.
Oh, that's catchy.
Well, I thought it would be better to call it Diana than to call it Engelbert.
Diana, how about you and me adjusting our goggles, tying on our silk scarves, and doing a few musical loop-the-loops for the folks, huh?
I like that very much. I'm ready for the takeoff anytime, Bob.
Okay.
But are you sure we don't have to get permission from Snoopy?
Now, that's no way to talk about the superintendent here. Les, go, Les.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me know what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. Just say the words and we'll beat the bird down to Acapulco Bay. Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Flying high, got me there. I'm flying high, flying high on a good day. I'm flying high on your love.
Straighten up and fly right.
Straighten up.
Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, mama, don't you blow your tooth.
Would you like to ride in my beautiful balloon? Would you like to glide in my beautiful balloon? We could float among the stars together, you and I. Or we can fly.
Rio by the sea, oh, flying down to Rio where there's rhythm and rhyme. Hey, fella, twirl that old propeller. Gotta get to Rio and we gotta make time.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Atta boys, give 'em the gun.
Down we dive, starting our plane from under, off on one hell of a course. We live in fame over down. Hey, nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force.
And a ride.
Hi. What's your name?
Peggy Sherman.
Peggy. Where are you from, Peggy?
Syracuse, New York.
Syracuse. Hey! Get out there! Hey! This is really beautiful because I'm sure that we have people here in this beautiful, beautiful area from all over the world. And I really like that because that's what this song is all about. Make this world a better place if you can. Now, I would like you to sing with me if that's okay with you, all right? Okay? If you can.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
Yeah, reach out and touch somebody's hand and make this world a better place if you can. Hey! 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 Where you from?
I'm from New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey.
Newark, New Jersey! Hey! Let's hear it. What's your name?
My name is Roderick Smith.
Roderick?
Yes.
Want to sing with me, Roderick?
Sure, I'll
Sing
try.
with soul. Wait a minute. What do you mean try?
Well, I'm not a singer, I'm a runner.
You're a runner?
Yes.
All right. I bet you can sing.
Yeah, I can.
They say we got rhythm and all that stuff.
Yeah, we do. Somebody's hand, make this world a better place. If you can, reach out and touch somebody's hand, make this world a better place. If you can.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello? Hello? Are you singing up here? Are you singing up here? Oh, wow. I want to get in here and get this little baby. What are you looking around for? I'm talking about you. Would you sing with me? Come on, stand up. And you, what's your name? Julie. Julie, I want you to sing it out loud and strong because we're trying to make the world a better place for you, okay? Give me some of that chewing gum you got. I need that gum. A better place. Thank you. Hold it for me, okay?
Reach out and touch someone if it's
Somebody's
good hand. And make the play a better place if you can.
All right. This is really a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm really happy. You know, I have to leave here and go back to Las Vegas. I have 2 shows tonight. It's incredible. All right, here's what I'd like to ask you to do. One last thing before I get back up on the stage where I belong. Is would you, for me, join hands with the person sitting next to you? Everybody, join hands with the person sitting next to you. Husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, stranger. Make a new friend today. Hold them high in the air. Everybody, high in the air. Join hands. Join hands, everybody. Now move it back and forth. Little rhythm. Move it. Yes. Sing as loud as you can. Everybody. Yeah.
to success. The movie's theme song poses the question Ross was asking herself about her own hectic career. Do you know where you're going to? Ross says she found some perspective in a faddish self-awareness program called EST.
It doesn't matter what career you are in. It almost doesn't matter how successful you are. That a lot of the problems are absolutely the same. One-to-one relationships with your husband or your wife or your lover or whatever. We all share a lot of the same problems, and they all can be cleared up just as well.
The past few years have brought enormous change to Ross's life. Her only marriage of 7 years ended in 1978 to Bob Silverstein, publicist and manager, father of their 3 children. They're still close, and they insist that color had nothing to do with their problem. Diana packed up the kids and moved from California to New York. Then this year, she broke with Motown Records, the people who'd guided and controlled her career for 20 years. So at 37, Ross started life all over again. You can hear it in her songs.
I've got to show the world all that I want to be, all my abilities. There's so much more to me
She's made a clean sweep, put a new manager on her payroll. For the first time, she produced a TV special. She signed with RCA Records at a reported $15 to $20 million.
Are we ready? Did you get the bass sound like you wanted?
And something totally new. She produced her own album, responsible for everything from music to money.
Did he give him 8 bars of the drum thing? I love that.
She says she trusts her own instincts now more than ever.
It's really important that you know about your business and your affairs, I think.
See, that's interesting, because I'm sure that most people who look at you on stage think that glamorous singer.
I hope so.
Not as a businesswoman.
It has to do with your survival. It's real important that you stop and take a look at what's going on, and either you can function in that or you better go somewhere where you can.
Ross dedicated her album to the people in her past who, she says, pushed her beyond mediocrity. She was warming up with Mirror, Mirror, a single she's just released. What she's singing these days requires a mature, popular artist who can handle a musical range from ballads to 50s rock and roll to 80s funk. There are a lot of songs in your repertory and in your act that talk about independence. I'm coming out, it's my turn, it's my house. Songs that you sing that are just saying, I'm here, I'm me, you got to deal with the boss.
Kind of interesting that those songs came around at that time in my life when I was opening up or being more aware. It's like my awareness opened up. There's a world out there. I think I have a fairly good balance about my life. And I've had to go through lots of different stages. It has never always been about the stage, you know. I love it, and it's in proportion to where it should be. Like my father said, I have accomplished the things that I wanted to accomplish, and I feel like I want to give more.
Her feelings for her public are summed up in her biggest hit ever, Endless Love. At an age when most people are wallowing in midlife crisis, Diana Ross seems full of youthful expectation.
Superstars of the modern entertainment industry. She sold more records than any other female singer in the history of popular music, had more #1 hits in America than even the Beatles. Last year, when she changed recording companies, she was paid $30 million. Not bad for someone who shared one bedroom with 5 brothers and sisters when she was a child, and whose music teacher once told her, "You've got a nice voice, but nothing special." Ladies and gentlemen, Diana Ross.
True, I want to make myself clear.
What's not exactly true?
The 30 million and...
It was more, you mean?
all of that.
It's a lot of wedge. Wedge is money.
Yes,
yeah.
it really is, but it's not exactly true, and I don't think that's important.
Well, it's a nice story. It all adds to the image, doesn't it? So, you know, as long as people go around believing it, Diana, that's the entire thing.
Well, actually, I'm wealthy. I'm wealthy in the point of love and things that help you know, what I want to give out in my life, but I'm not interested. Well, let's not talk about it.
But I mean, it must have been, it's a remarkable thing when you consider the background you came from, that you've now got to the stage where you are. I mean, whether it's 25 million or 30 million, I mean, it can't have been what you imagined when you grew up in Detroit, wasn't it?
No, not at all.
No, you didn't grow up in Detroit, or no,
Yes,
you didn't imagine. No,
yes,
yeah.
I grew up in
Yeah,
Detroit,
that's right.
and I never ever thought of the kind of lifestyle that I would be living today.
Yeah. Was there a lot of music in your background? Was it natural you'd be a singer?
Yes, it was, I think. Because the neighborhood that I grew up in, that was our natural outlet. We all sang, and it was a reflection of our feelings. And usually it was very happy music and something we did all the time. My mother is the baby of 12 children, and we come from a very religious family, and they were gospel singers, and they sang in the choir. So it was just a natural order of things for me to be a singer and a performer, I think.
There's a huge amount of talent, wasn't there, around at that time that went on like you? I mean, who were they? Who were your sort of contemporaries?
Well, during the time when I started to sing, I started at Motown Records, and Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, you know, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, just so many. We all started about the same time.
What was your start? I mean, what was your professional start? What was the first group you were with?
Well, actually, the same group, but the first name that we had was called the Primettes, and there was 4 girls. And we went on to change our name when we signed contracts with Motown to the Supremes.
We've got, actually, this is unfair on you, but I'm going to do it in any case. We've got a clip of you with the Supremes in those very early days. Oh my God, she said. It's not as bad as that, actually. It's quite nice.
Which clip where?
Well, have a look. It's coming up now. There you are. Oh dear. They did a... You must have done wonders for the wig industry, really, because it was alleged about 300 wigs at one time.
No. You know, when we traveled, it was an interesting thing, you know. It made it much more convenient for us to travel with the things that we needed. It's interesting, the lighting is quite a bit different in hotels than what you would need for television shows, and for being in style, we used to travel with quite a few hair pieces and that kind of thing, but not as many as people said.
What memories do you have of those days, the days of the Supremes? Do you have any sort of standout memories?
Oh, really good memories, but really a lot of hard work. We ended up living out of a suitcase. We traveled so much. And actually, we were a success here in the United Kingdom before we were in the United States. Mm-hmm. So I always feel like I'm coming home when I come here with my music first.
What kind of tensions developed, though? Because how long were you together? That original threesome, how long? We were together approximately 10, maybe 12 years before we started recording the first 2 years. Right. The tensions are just the traveling work, you know, the work of it all, and being on all the time and giving up your life totally. We all felt like we wanted to get married and have children one day, and we just always wonder if we really were going to ever get that opportunity. Did you ever get sick of the sight of each other? No, I think we're very good friends. We're very close, very good friends. Mary and I were very close even before the group started. So I think, it wasn't that kind of problem. It's just the work of it all. One of the original members, I think I'm right in saying, of course, had a tragic death, didn't she? I guess all death is tragic. But this was particularly, she was a young woman. I mean, what exactly happened to her? Was that due to the breakup? No, I don't think so. It was years after that she passed away. It was health problems, and usually that's a reason, isn't it? As simple as that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I really don't know. You know, when she left the group, it was at least 5 or 6 years before her death, and during that time we didn't have that much contact. I didn't really know everything that was going on in her life. So I really don't know. But it was very tragic for all of us. We were very unhappy about it. What were the problems of being on the road, being women on the road? I mean, it must have been a lot more difficult than if you're guys. We started very young, you know. We started 16. No. It's been a long time. We started at 16, so it was difficult. We had chaperones and lots of people around us basically telling you what to do all the time and really guiding you and taking care of you. And that's very positive and very good. But then as years go on and you're really shelled, it's like, I always feel like, you know the little trees that the Oriental people have, and they cut off the roots and then they cut off the outside, and the tree never really grows. So you've turned into like a
a mental midget in a sense, because you don't really get a chance to express yourself or the things that you really would like to know about. And I think it happens to not only the Supremes, but most people in show business. You find yourself forced into becoming some kind of recluse where you're young and you want to express yourself and be alive and do things and inspire and learn. And what happens is you're cut off from the world. And they're doing it because they're protecting you and taking care of you, and it's really good, but it's in a sense, somewhere along the line, it's a little bit negative in there. So you have to find out who you are, and that's difficult.
Did you also come across much prejudice when you were traveling around, much color prejudice?
I started young in the business, and I remember in my lifetime I have experienced it, but not as much, I think, as is in the world. And those are the things that sadden me mostly in my lifetime, because I feel I'm an American dream. You know, the possibility to start the lifestyle that I did, starting in what people call the ghetto.
Yes.
Basically, we were poor, but not without. Everything we had was smaller than what normal people had. We had a car, we had a house, we had beds, but things were smaller and less of it. But I feel like, you know, we didn't know that we were going to possibly be able to deal with people on so many different levels. I have had, you know, I've been very lucky in my lifetime, and I appreciate that.
Of course, you also, too, you did remarkably well as an actress, portraying a singer who had amazing success and honor in her life, but who destroyed herself, Billie Holiday, of course, Lady Sings the Blues. That must be very difficult for you, because as you said, even though you came from a similar background, if you like, it wasn't the same, because, I mean, your parents were good, you were a chaperone, whereas she was exploited from beginning to end, was she not?
Well, I guess, but I think the drug problem, even if you're not in show business, is a big problem, and that I think it will destroy any career and any profession, and we all know that, and we see examples of it all the time. And Billie Holiday's life is just like if you're on a road, and this is only my personal opinion about it, and you decide to go in one direction or the other for whatever reason. Sometimes, I mean, we're just not sure, you know, what reasons will take people in whichever directions, but it is a lonely life, yet a very glamorous life, so the end justifies the means somehow. I can perform for a wonderful audience, and then sometimes you can go home and really spend many hours alone, and it can be dangerous because you think a lot and you probably think not always positive thoughts, you know.
Given, though, that you came from this background and you don't take drugs yourself, how difficult was it to get into her mind and to act out that appalling tragedy?
Well, I spent a lot of time in my research, and I read most everything that I could read about drugs, and I just did the best that I could, and evidently most people say that it seemed really real to them. And basically I just researched. I'm in process of now researching another woman's life, a very extraordinary woman. Quite a bit of different lifestyle. Her name is Josephine Baker.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope that will be my next film project if all works out. And it's a lot of process that goes on before you see a picture on the screen, but there's a lot of paperwork and whatever. But I'm spending time knowing more about who she was. Now, her life took a completely different path.
Yes.
She was born in Baltimore, and so was Billie Holiday. I think they're from the same place. And she went to New York to be in show business, and then popped over to Paris and became the toast of Paris. And her life was a European legend. And yet there was many conflicts because she was never treated the same in the United States. She was during the time when it was, I always say that the women like Josephine and Bessie Smith and Ethel Waters really made it possible for me to have an easier existence as a black performer. But she's an extraordinary woman, and I want to talk about her life. Also, I think it's a very interesting life, even if she were not black. It's just very interesting.
Talking about image, let's now have a look at the new image where we see it before us, actually, and the real you.
Every day I have a new image.
But this is your latest single coming up, actually. We'll talk about it in a moment. A clip from it here. Here we are. And that's the title song from your new album.
Why Do Fools Fall in Love?
Which is why you produced it yourself too, didn't you?
I produced the album myself, and that's why I'm here, basically. I'm promoting new relationships and this is a different kind of music for me, in a sense. It's a little happier. My last song was Endless Love with Lionel Richie, and it's a little happier and freer, and my album cover also kind of represents what my life is going through at the moment. Well, my last song was I'm Coming Out. And now I'm out. So I wanted to kind of express that.
And on the album cover, you're hanging out too.
Yes. I wish you could see this.
No, it's very nice. Really.
Now, do you think that I could hang out? I mean, really? I haven't ever been able to do that.
Well, I'm delighted that you could come on the show, because I've wanted to talk to you for many, many years. And my only disappointment is that you didn't bring any music with you from America. You didn't sing live for us. But when you come next time,
I'd
would
like
you please
to do that. I'm planning a big world tour, maybe April, May next year, and I'd like to come and visit and also sing for you.
All right. Okay? Well, we're going off there in March, but we'll keep it open.
You will.
If you're coming on, absolutely. Diana Ross, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, shut up.
Of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Diana Ross.
I'm really very, very grateful for this honor, and I thank the city of Los Angeles and everybody that's here.
It proves that there's a lot of people out there that care about me. And you know, being an artist, I think we're always so insecure. You keep wanting to get better because you don't know about the last time were you good enough, and next time you got to be a little bit better. And I think the kids out there and being able to have a star in Hollywood, it's just, you know, just an announcement to me that everything's all right.
Did you ever think in 1962 that you would have a star on Hollywood Boulevard?
Not on your life. I really never did. When I was a little girl, I used to sing in the mirror. And I just wanted to entertain my family and to make everybody happy. I never knew that it would, you know, ever end up this way. And, well, hopefully this is movement on to more things. I hope for challenging films and so on. But the star is so exciting. That's why I stood on the star and clicked my heels 3 times. I wanted to be Dorothy again, you know.
Before 9. Diana Ross, of course, singing a little bit of the title song from a new album, which is called Why Do Fools Fall in Love? It's been out for only 3 weeks. Not surprisingly, it's already climbing the charts. But Diana Ross is the sensational performer, is the Diana Ross that we're all familiar with. I mean, we know her that way. But this morning, we're going to have a chance to talk with Diana Ross about another kind of part of Diana Ross. And that is a woman, I am told, who really has decided, I am going to take care of myself in every way, shape, and form. And you really are, aren't you? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm just fine.
You really are just taking charge and saying, I'm going to do it all myself in a lot of ways, aren't you?
Well, yes, I'm being more involved in the business part of my career, which I think every artist should. I think you should know about your money and your banking and the things that I really were not concerned with at all for 20 years.
But, okay, you say you should, and it's good for a performer to do it, but you've got to have a reason, Diana. I mean, because there are other people, you can hire people to do those things so you can concentrate on singing or performing or whatever, right?
Well, I'm in a unique position now. It's been 20 years, and I'm just in the opportunity where I can make choices about my own career. I can decide what songs I want to do, and I really think I've had a few ups and downs where there's been a few rip-offs and I've made mistakes or signed the wrong papers because I was not knowledgeable about things. And I think it's time for everyone to really take a look at their business and find out, you know, the right people to trust, and then you can let go. I'm taking a class right now in legal contracts and things like that. Yes. Actually, I go to school at the New School.
Right, and that's
you know, whenever I can take seminars and classes, I do try to take one.
Now,
but
in
basically,
legal, why in legal? I mean,
well, I've always been interested in legal. I thought once that I might want to be an attorney, and but basically because if you sign the wrong contracts, you can really get yourself in a lot of trouble. And it's real, basically for me, I wanted to know that when my attorneys and when I hired the excellence around me, which are attorneys and business managers and whatever, that I could trust them, and also, not that I knew everything, but knew enough that would get me through. At least I was aware of some of the business things, especially contracts. They're very important.
It really is unusual, or it would seem unusual, for somebody in your position to go to this kind of trouble. How did it feel when you found out the first time that somebody had ripped you off? Somebody in whom you trusted, apparently.
Yes, I was very, very hurt. And I could only keep my word if it was something I had said I would do. I would go ahead and do that. But when people steal money from you, and you do find, it was written in the paper that I had been actually ripped off, and I couldn't believe it. So what I did is just said, I won't deal with the past. I will start from now and move forward, and what I need to do is learn something about my own career. And I've had a wonderful career where I've really been taken care of and trusted. I mean, I've trusted a lot of people, and rightly so.
Had to. Sure.
Rightly so, because many of the things I would never be doing now if it wasn't for them. My relationship with Motown and Berry Gordy, Berry has taught me wonderful things over the years, so it's important that I take the lessons that he taught me and actually make them come to life now.
Now, this record, you really produced this record?
Yes.
I mean, most people perhaps don't understand what that means, but I mean, you have total say, right, over this LP.
Well, actually, I was involved in the lettering that's used, the colors that are used, the photographs that are used, the liner notes that I wanted to say thank you to very special people that have worked and surrounded me and went the extra mile in this album.
That puts yourself on the line, though. You're really putting you on the line by saying, I'm going to take total responsibility. I mean, if a song doesn't come out, you say, well, I didn't choose that song. If, you know, you don't like the album cover, you can say, I don't like the album cover. But you're taking it all on.
Well, actually,
was that hard?
Yes. You know, I started my own production company, Diana Ross Productions, and I produced my last television special for television. And then all of a sudden I said, well, I would like to produce my album. It really wasn't planned. It just happened to be that I had given my word that I would have my album ready at a certain time. And so I just went about getting it done. And mostly, in producing, for me, what I did was really surround myself with the best and the talented people, and what I said was what I didn't like, because they supplied me with many things that I liked. And producing itself, to me, is basically making sure that you have all the right elements there.
And the right people around you.
And the right people around you. And that's really what my education is all about, and taking responsibilities.
Tell me about what it's like when you go to class or go to school. What was it like the first time you walked in?
Well,
all right, say your names, please. Where Miss Ross? Is Miss Diana Ross? Are you here, please? I mean, what? Come on.
It was the same. It was
Who's
like
here?
that. Actually, it was like that, and wonderful, because we sat there and everyone had to say their purpose in taking the class, because it's really about copyrights and all of the background work, not the creative process. I'm in the process. I've had the opportunity through a close friend at Paramount Pictures to be able to produce my next film. And I'm very excited because it's a challenge for me, but I wanted to know what it is, the business part of really making a film. And so I spent a lot of time in the development process, finding out how a film is financed. And even though I've always been the actress in a movie, this time I'm more interested in the work of it. And I've been inspired by people like Jane Fonda.
That's right.
You know, in her production company. Also Goldie Hawn to do her work. Absolutely so. And Barbara, of course, Barbara Streisand. So these are the women that inspire me to continue and to work hard in my production company. And I've gotten lots of properties coming in for the production company that's not just for me as an actress, but for packaging and putting together for other people.
Does the teacher treat you the same?
Yes, he does.
He really does?
Oh, I wanted to tell you, one of the students came up and said, we admire that you would even take the time to take a class like this, because it must be challenging, and also she said that you would just throw yourself in and not be concerned about the superstar Diana Ross. She said, and you're learning. She said, we admire that. We're happy that you're here.
Diana, great to see you again.
And you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Diana's going to be with us again early next week. Back in just a minute after these words from Style Shampoo, 5 minutes before 9 right now.
7:49. Last week, David talked with Diana Ross about her new hit album, Why Do Fools Fall in Love, and about how she's taking charge of her career now. Also, Diana and her family have also recently moved from California, where they'd lived for a long, long time, to New York. And David asked her why.
Well, you know, somehow I'm really inspired by New York. I love the arts, the museums, and the theaters. I'm interested in different kind of music than I had ever been aware of. The opera and Pavarotti and Zuba Mehta, I mean, or to be to go to the theaters and see all the different shows. And also, I'm giving that stuff back to my girls, too. We go out a lot. We spend a lot of time in the park. It's inspiring to me. Meeting people also that are not just in show business. There's wonderful, there's another world. This is as close to Europe as we're going to get. I'm really inspired by this town. I'm very happy here.
Let's talk about your girls. Now, how many do you have?
I have 3 children.
3, and they're all under, what, 10? Or?
What, 10, 9, and 6. 6 very soon.
All right. When you grew up in the ghetto, right? Would you call it a ghetto?
Well, I wouldn't, but...
You wouldn't? But, well, what should we call it? Poor?
Well, actually, we were poor. It was a poor neighborhood, but... See, ghetto was a word I didn't learn until I was in my 20s. Okay. I had never heard it before. We were never denied anything. We had anything that we wanted. Yeah. And my mother is a hard worker, and you never sacrifice cleanliness. Cleanliness has nothing to do with being poor, so there was nothing that we wanted, and we had everything we wanted. So I didn't consider it a ghetto.
Okay, your girls are growing up in a sort of rarefied kind of atmosphere. I mean, certainly they don't want for anything. They probably won't, as long as they're growing up. But they're sheltered, they're protected in a way that you were not. How concerned are you that they may not develop some of the strengths and some of the self-reliance and all of those things and learn the things that you learned because they're growing up in such a kind of sheltered atmosphere compared to the way you grew up?
I don't know if strength and self-reliance has to do with how much money you have. It has to do with the love that's surrounded in your life and the guidance and a lot of that, you know, your point of view. I'm trying, and I think I'm doing a fine job of raising my children with the positive things around them. In other words, they work hard, they take responsibility. I do keep my life balanced as much as I possibly can in being in show business. And by that I mean I have as few people around me as I can.
In other words, you're not followed by all these different...
My children care nothing about the whole thing about the star thing. They're more interested in Mommy and being there when they need to talk to someone and someone to be there. And I spend a lot of time with them. I really think that, and who knows what life is going to be all about. You know, it's lots of peaks and valleys. My girls seem to be really functioning well, and the city's really good for them.
How do they come see you work, or have they over the years?
Sometimes when they're not in school, if they're in school, they can't do that. Right. They cannot stay, and they're very close to their father. Their father happens to be here today, the guy over there. But they're, you know, they have a good balance, I think.
How do they treat you? I don't know. I don't even know how to ask this. I mean, when they see you come out in the gowns and the things, and all right, and do what you do so great, how do they react to that? I mean,
well, hopefully,
do you become different from Mommy at home, or?
I think I'm different, and that's good too. They see me, you know, without makeup. They see me in ways that a lot of people don't see me. They see me hurt and unhappy. They see me when I'm very happy. They see the glamorous part of it. But I think for my children, as I want to be for all young people, and is to be a good example. So we talk. I'm honest with them. What
do you talk about? I mean, yeah, go ahead.
All right. I have private meetings with my children about personal things that are important to them, their friends, or if they can sleep over with a friend, or if they can't, what I feel, why my security in this kind of business is important, because I want them to understand that without feeling like they're different from the other kids. And you know, we just talk about it, and they can be unhappy about it, and I can be unhappy about it, but this is the life. They're a bit of a celebrity just because they're my children, and they kind of understand that, and try to hold it the best they can. I mean, I always felt that I should be the positive thing in children's life, and also in my husband's life, or my man's life, too. I shouldn't be, it shouldn't be negative. I think my life has been a wonderful life, so it's not bad, you know. I mean, it shouldn't be a bad thing. So they seem to handle it that way, too. It's all how you hold things, isn't it? You know, if you think of me as a negative source, or if you think of me as a positive source, then that's how it reacts, you know. For them, I think I'm good.
What do you do for fun? When you take the 3 of them, all 3 of them, what do you guys go do for just the
we go and get an ice cream soda, or we go and get some those little jelly candies, or we like to dance together. And we move all the furniture back, and everybody does their aerobics. My oldest daughter, Rhonda, and Tracy are very involved in gymnastics. And Chutney the other day figured out that she's a very good dancer. All of a sudden, she figured a move that could fit with every song, you know. And we just spend a lot of time together. I think mostly if I'm just there, that's the most important thing. Even if they see me, if I'm there sleeping, that's okay. They know I'm there. Yes.
Diana, it's really good to see you.
Thank you.
Best.
It's a pleasure to always visit you.
Thank you. Best with your movies and albums, and most of all, with the four of you guys together.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks, Diana. Okay. We'll be back in just a moment.